Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. So, the topic of today's video is just be yourself is terrible advice. Because clearly, if you're not where you want to be, yourself isn't working for you. So, there's something that needs to be changed about the current you that will help you to fulfill your goals in the future. So, there's this sort of like common narrative of like just be yourself and everything will be fine. It's kind of like, just be nice, just be yourself and everything will be fine. It'll all work out. But you also have to do certain things that are different from your natural self to get the different outcome. It's like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again expecting a different result. It's basically that, but with like your own actions and your personality and things like that. I definitely think there's some truth to like your genetic predisposition and the experiences you have that shape your personality to be what it is. But there's just this notion that you have no control. You're just you, there's nothing you can do about it, and that's just your personality. If your personality is, a shy introvert, there's no way you can become social, there's no way to do anything. You're introverted or extroverted, that's just how you are. I feel like it's a very weak mindset. I mean, I've had times in my life where I've been extroverted and then times I've been introverted and times now where I'm extroverted. So it's sort of like it's more fluid than people think. And I think it can be applied to a lot of things, but let's take this introverted versus extroverted example. So if you do the things that an introvert would do, like you spend a lot of time on your computer and you play video games a lot and you like go on Discord and all this shit, right? Discord's fine, but like, you spend a lot of time inside on your computer with like you need to touch grass basically. Versus if you're extroverted and you're outside and you're talking to more people, then you'd be labeled as an extrovert, even though your same core you hasn't changed, but it's just your actions, right? It's the things you do and the habits that shape you, sort of. So this can be applied, the same concept of introvert versus extrovert can be applied to other things. So let's say you've been told you're like a lazy person. You're lazy because you don't exercise, or you're lazy because you don't do your work, or you haven't been like, consistent or something like that, right? This self-perception, this perception of yourself that is like a limiting perception of being lazy it doesn't help you. So it's like, number one, it's a belief that doesn't help you. So why would you want to believe anything that doesn't help you? It's like you should try to pick the beliefs that serve you best for your goals. So if you have this belief that's been conditioned into you by like just going through life, and maybe someone when you were like 5 years old said, you're lazy because you didn't run when everyone else is running or whatever, something like that. And it just carried on with you, and now you have this perception of being lazy, or this self-image of being lazy. People get trapped in this, and it's like so ingrained it's hard to change, but you can just change it by changing the things you do and changing your self-talk, whatever you tell yourself. It's pretty like interesting that you can just change it through your mind, basically. So I think there's two ways to do this, right? Running with this lazy example, if you've been told you're lazy, so that's your mindset, then there's two steps. So you could do the actions of a non-lazy person. So it's like if your thing is like homework or whatever, let's say like work or homework or school or college or whatever, and it's like you have this belief of being lazy. So then you just do the work, however small, it could be like 2 minutes a day. You just do the work and you change the habit, and now you're starting to see yourself as not a lazy person because you're doing the work, right? And you also have to change the mindset by every time you get a thought about that, like some type of self-limiting like thought about being lazy, you just have to change it and flip it. So yeah, so it's basically like those two things that help you to change your personality from that limiting personality to a personality that helps you. So let's take this a bit further. So basically, we have that you have like a sort of like a base like personality, like it's your character is like kind of like set out for you a little bit when you're growing up, and just since let's just think about it like since this point, in the past, all your experiences and everything have shaped you to be who you are at the moment, right? Then now you understand that you can change it. You can change it by changing your mindset and by taking action in whatever, whatever like habit or whatever that would change that personality for you or that thing for you, right? Personality trait. So, okay, once you have all that, there's still this whole thing of like societal pressures and like what everyone would think of you if you just change completely. Like people, if you try to like, let's say you're negative and you become, you have like a negative mindset, you're always complaining about things, you're gossiping, all that stuff. You change from being negative to being positive, right? You're thinking like, this is nice, you're trying to be grateful and being more happy. People are gonna think like you're a poser, you're a faker. You're faking it, but why can't you just change it? And it doesn't really matter what these people like, what anyone would like think about your new personality, because you can kind of just choose the parts of the personality that help you. So like you want to be a positive person because, if you expel positivity into the world and you're a positive person and you have good vibrations and all that, not to be like spiritual, but then that will come back to you. So you understand that and you wanna change that. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think being around people who are like constantly judging you, or even if you're just like so afraid of what people will think and like just afraid of being judged or like being perceived as outside of the norm or anything like that, it stops you from taking action and in this case improving yourself to be like a different version of yourself, right? So I think one thing that's helped me with judgment or just like worrying so much about other people, because I used to be, super afraid. Like I would wear like a hood and a mask, and I would like, I wouldn't really talk a lot, and I would just like, I was really worried what people would like think of me, how people would perceive me, if I looked good enough for people, and it was just like this weak, like powerless kind of place to be, and it really sucks, honestly. But some things that help me to get over this fear of judgment is just like sort of incremental steps in the right direction, because I think it's hard from like going from that place of like extreme insecurity. You can't just go from that to like a place of extreme confidence. Just it's not really possible. But you can, for me, for my example, take off the hood more often. That was like a very small like step, and start going to the gym and start speaking to more people, and all these little things you can do. But it has to be kind of small. All these little small things that will like snowball into a positive momentum, and then get you to where you want to be. Like myself in the past would, they would like, it's kind of hard to like word it, but my past self would see me and be like shocked, because it's a very big like difference of my personality. But it's just because of the things I've done and the habits I've done and the momentum I've accrued over my effort, right, over the past year or year and a half or whatever, maybe 2 years, I guess. It's been 2 years now. So I want you to like take the actionable thing from this video, right? Number one is change your mindset. So if any like limiting belief that you notice about yourself, any like, you might have something you're thinking of, try your best to just change that. Just tell yourself the opposite and tell yourself the positive things. Number two is action. Do the things that this person would do. So it could be you want to get into lifting, so go to the gym. Just go to the gym. Like it could be not even go to the gym. It could be 10 pushes per day, and you could like apply that to any example. And then the third thing is not being so judgmental, or not being so like worried of other people's judgments, right? And not caring so much what they think, because number one, no one really cares, and number two, it's like it doesn't really matter what they think anyways, to an extent, So, yeah. If you have any further questions, or if you want to network, if you need any help with any addictions, any problems, any struggles, the first link in the description is coaching. So yeah, Appreciate it. Hope you have a good one. Peace.